Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen we're making some delicious chewy chocolate chip cookies. So let's get started. First off, in a large bowl, I'm adding 2.5 cups or 300 grams of all-purpose flour. If you wanted a chewier chocolate chip cookie, you could sub in some bread flour, which has a higher protein content. That would be about a cup. To puff things up, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, and you'll notice my oven isn't on yet. If you want, you could scoop and bake these right away, but chilling your dough will hydrate the flour and give you a better texture, better flavor, and the cookies won't spread as much, but they're still delicious if you bake them right away. We need a little bit of contrast here, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt will do it. Chocolate chip cookies seem like a timeless classic, but they were actually invented in 1938 by Ruth Wakefield from the Toll House Inn. That's where Toll House cookies get their name, and thank you, Ruth, these are delicious. Grab a whisk. Our scale's done. Give it a whisk. By the way, if you like my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's 2 new recipes every single week. Set this aside, and now we're gonna grab a stand mixer with a paddle attachment, or you could use a hand mixer in a large bowl if that's what you want. These cookies will have a lovely texture and richness from butter, 1 cup or 226 grams of unsalted room temperature butter. You'll notice that it is soft enough that I can use my finger to indent fairly easily. If the butter's too hard, it won't mix right. So go ahead and microwave it at half power if you need to in like 5 or 10 second bursts until it's just right. You don't want it melty though. Plop that butter into your mixer. By the way, you do not have to bake all of your chocolate chip cookies right away. You could have them rolled out, chilled and frozen, and then you can just defrost them when you want to make some cookies on demand. Highly recommended. I'm adding 3/4 of a cup or 165 grams of light brown sugar. The brown sugar has some molasses in it, and it has a bit more moisture, a lovely caramel flavor, and just gives you a lot. We're not gonna use all brown sugar though, because if we did, the cookies would spread too much. Overspreading happens when you use too much sugar, you don't use enough flour, or your oven was too cold. If you put the cookies into a cold oven, the edges will just keep spreading. The hot oven makes the edges set. To complete our sugar duo, 1/2 cup of regular old granulated sugar, 100 grams. All right, we're gonna beat this on medium now for about 5 minutes until it is light and fluffy. You can scrape the bowl down as needed. I would recommend that at least 1 time. Or more, if some random butter clumps just went to the top of your bowl right away. By the way, if you wanted to have soft chocolate chip cookies, add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch right into the dry mixture and just mix it up. That's the secret to a bakery style cookie. I like mine crisp and chewy, so I will not be doing that. But these are your cookies, so do what you want. So these cookies are gonna be delicious, but in this bowl, I have some magical browned butter. Browned butter is just butter you cook on a cooktop until it gets some nice color on it. I have a blog post on it if you want the full instructions, but it has a lovely, nutty, rich flavor. So you could just sub in some or all of the butter for browned butter, and this will be delicious-er. It's been about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, lovely flavor, and 1 large room temperature egg. If your egg is too cold, that will affect how the batter mixes together, and it's not the best. Definitely scrape the bowl down. And if you're not an expert egg cracker, go ahead and crack it into a separate bowl or measuring cup to make sure there's no shells. Mix, mix. Mix it up until it's just combined. Really, that scrape down was not optional. You need to do it. That looks great. With your mixer on low, we're gonna gradually add in the flour. You do not want to overmix the flour because that will give you a tough cookie. We want soft or chewy. Scrape your bowl down. Right, we're gonna look for this being almost combined. You could have some streaks of flour because the chocolate chips still have to go in. That looks fine. Not totally mixed, it looks a bit shaggy, but once the chocolate chips or whatever mix-ins you're using are in and combined, this will be perfect. I'm taking my paddle off because I'm gonna finish mixing this by hand. Now for the star, I'm using 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You could use chocolate chunks, you could use bittersweet, it's totally up to you, everything's gonna be fine. That's 270 grams, by the way. I'm gonna stir this in by hand and just get it all distributed. This is so nothing is overmixed, and it takes so little time, it's too easy to let your mixer run and then just toughen the dough up. This is your final opportunity to find any unmixed nonsense, so take a look at the bottom, and if there's some powdery bits, just mix them in. This looks great, it smells great. We're gonna scoop this up now. I'm using a 1.5 tablespoon sized scoop. You could go up to a 1/4 cup scoop if you want those bakery style cookies. That will increase the bake time. Plop that on. These chocolate chip cookies are classic and delicious, but you could have added some mix-ins to make them your own. You could use chocolate chunks, M&Ms, nuts. It's totally up to you. The only rule is you want 1.5 cups of mix-ins in total. So if I wanted to, I could have subbed in 1/2 cup or 1 cup of my mix-ins for the chocolate chips. Just don't add too much because that'll change the ratios and your cookies won't bake up as nicely. And once this is done, you're gonna either pop this into the oven or chill it. I'm chilling the dough. You can go into the fridge for as little as an hour or up to 3 days. Just make sure you cover this so it doesn't dry out. Into the fridge, and we'll be right back. Towards the end of your chill time, preheat your oven to 350, and before these guys go into the oven, you have the optional step of adding a few chocolate chips on top. It's a finishing touch. They're just going to be glossy and really visible on those cookies. Very optional, but I love adding a light sprinkle of flaked sea salt on top. So delicious, like a little crunchy, salty moment to balance the sweetness. I chilled my dough, so these are gonna bake for 13 to 15 minutes in the oven. If you didn't chill them, 12 to 14, and the lower bake time is gonna be for a gooier, slightly underdone cookie, which is how I like them. In you go. These cookies won't last long, but if you have extras, you can store them in an airtight container and they'll last for up to 5 days. Fresh out of the oven, gooey, chewy, and delicious. These cookies have such a nice texture, crunch on the outside, soft and gooey on the inside, lots of chocolate, and just plain delicious. I hope you get a chance to make these easy cookies, and if you like my videos, hit that subscribe button and check out my cookie playlist.